Ugh. Listen to all that noise. What a shame. Since my phone has fallen into the wrong hands of the police and the hospital they've taken me to, it's like it's been mega raped. I'm gonna mark this up as a centillion-dollar loss. Listen to all that noise. police! Not bad, not bad. Sounded good here. I liked it. I have been having some problems with the distortion mixed with the overdrive. It sort of just sounded like a bunch of static, making it sound like garbage on video. So I hope that didn't happen. I hope for good replays, like what actually happened, not some edited garbage, like somebody got my good work and threw out garbage for me to watch, or for us to watch, or whatever. I would like my social media check, because I know this is money, Facebook. This is Facebook money. I mean, Facebook must be making money on this. I need my check. Where's mine? You know, I can't even afford to eat and have housing right. Give me my social media money. I heard about TikTok is trying to start some special bank deal. It has me thinking. I have a lot of designs, but I don't have a lot of designs where I sort of gather up everybody else's media, like their actual media, like their pictures and their videos and stuff. And, you know, it seems like only these big multinational global, boys, men's men or boys corporations get to make money on this stuff. And it looks like they have to make money on like lots of it. Although I'm sure there are these factors where, like, this really, really great work, like my really, really great guitar work, should count as these huge pieces, or this huge amount in their pile of money. But, you know, it's like, no matter how hard you try as an individual, if you're not some super mega national corporation, you don't get to make money on your new media. It's this new atrocity. I mean, it's this new style atrocity, like the way of life is in America here. Oh, so what do I got? So my thoughts on reform for the day are, I've been working on the special way of saying it, trying to talk about fail-safes. You know, I mean, it's like the human species is just constantly trying to commit extinction with itself. Like all these terrible old nuclear power plant designs that would fail to nuclear annihilation. Like they would fail to meltdown trying to blow up. So the human species learned its lesson relatively quickly. Like it only really took like one of these. And they learned to make them fail safe. So it wasn't like it failed and went full throttle when it failed. But we have all of our other systems. Like it's just all this atrocity. Like the human species trying to commit extinction or just trying to create the most suffering it possibly can in every way. So we need our government to fail safe. And my first example is the way we need our policing to fail safe. And I think the police should be ready to get in on this. I mean, I used to be a police officer. I might still sort of be a police officer, but things are all crazy. And I've also sort of been a normal citizen, like I was an undercover. So I'm trying to take all sides. And I'm not saying we need policing to just go away. And I'm not saying we need to deband and defund the police. What I'm saying is we need a complete overhaul, a major change that always fails safe. And what it is always peaceful, prevention-only policing. So I hope you don't get a bunch of perverse thoughts and think that means people are going to jail, because I mean prevention only. I am not talking about giving a person a crime instead of a higher crime. That is not prevention. I'm talking about always peaceful, prevention-only policing. It only prevents crime. You don't go and try to stop murder with premeditated murder. That's not prevention. Premeditated murder happened. You prevent premeditated murder. So, I mean, my example I'm trying to give that should really be striking people's hearts and minds is the way it's set up. tried to make slaves by enforcing law, and it's in our constitutions everywhere. Like every constitution, as I can tell, has a special exception where we got these special rights at the civil right, no slavery, except upon conviction, or except to punish crime, or except upon dual conviction. 13th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America says slavery is allowed upon dual conviction. It's like slavery is outlawed except upon dual conviction. So we have this terrible, terrible policing system that's always failing. Like everything is just its property. And the police too. So the police should be feeling this. I mean, we got the next police officer. Now he's on felony murder, like 20 charges, and they're not ready to throw the conspiracy charges, but if I had my rights as judge that I'm supposed to have, I'd be throwing the book at everybody to just make everybody who want it go away or totally change, while trying to give maximum leniency or something reasonable, accept all defenses and stuff, but I'd be throwing that book, conspiracy. Everybody in the police force and every union and every fraternal order is in on this conspiracy. That's what I'd be doing as judge. But God have mercy on it. But we don't have it. What we need, for real though, is always peaceful, prevention-only policing. So we won't have this terrible fail atrocity system. It'll be a fail-safe system. We won't have a fail-to-maximum evil system. We could have a fail-safe system. So, I mean, when it fails, it is terrible. It fails, and a murder happens. But that's what our system is now. Like, our system starts at this failure. So it's like, our system now says if there's going to be a murder that's not a murder until the murder occurs, it won't do anything until the murder occurs. For the most part. It's like you don't have a Goku cop who can be there with instantaneous transmission while the gun is being pointed and the trigger's being pulled to stop the bullet when it's basically a murder, a premeditated murder all the way. We just don't have that. But if we had always peaceful prevention-only policing, and this is one of the cases where it worked, we'd have the murder victim saved, and we wouldn't have a murderer to be a slave and possibly kill. And there's always this issue of how terribly our system fails, like we might even get the wrong person to kill thinking they're the murderer when they're not the murderer at all. It's whatever Shabazz guy. He just got totally set up and he was totally innocent. It's like everybody knew it, but the judge and the police or something. I don't know, but it's just like the system won't fail safe. But it's not impossible. It's super easy to have a fail-safe system. And we need all our government systems to fail safe. Like, the whole system of documentation has to be assumed to be wrong at every point. Because it can be. Or it can be near that. And we need a fail-safe economy. Such that people don't need currency to survive. Or people just don't need currency to get what they need. We need an economy that gives everybody what they need that is also what they want. Like, we need our economy to always give people housing and food. And it needs to be housing and food that they want as well. And this is easy with the amount of wealth in our systems and in our economies. It's just there's problems with hoarding of it. So we need our economy to totally change so we can have everybody always get what they need. And I know it's more than just housing and food. You need the stuff for your house as well. It's just everybody should have the right to have it. Like it's a basic human right. Like people should still have the right to breathe naturally that we're losing. Because this has gone way beyond anything that's ever happened in history. There have never been atrocities like this. The Nazis weren't this bad. I mean, nobody has ever been as bad as things are in the USA right now. Like, you don't have the right to breathe naturally anymore if you're in a mask-required situation. We need to stop it. People should have the right to just get sick without the mask if they should so choose. And if others want to be safe from that, they can wear the mask. Masks are getting people sick. I mean, how many times are you going to use your mask? I mean, you breathe in once with that mask and contaminate it, and it's time to change it. And if you're like in the zone where that happens, like you take a breath, you contaminate it, you change the mask. You take a breath, you contaminate it, you change the mask. Otherwise, you take a breath, it gets contaminated, you run away, you take the next breath, You got a contaminated mask even though you're in a non-contaminated zone. Now you're the problem. You're the spreader with your mask. We need it ended. We need our government and our economy to also recognize that wealth is worth currency in a way such that all wealth is guaranteed to equally, always, and quickly exchange for currency. And said wealth needs to be capable of being valued by its creator and its owners without any extra cost to them, except maybe a little time or something, by doing some special work, like there could be a special absolute science-based system of how to value wealth. And anybody could use it who uses it right, because it should be a really simple, basically automatable thing, and you never have anybody else just saying, well, it's half of that. You say, no, the science says it's this. And then we need all of our economies and all of our governments to stop this special you have to be in with the in crowd to have currency or to make money on wealth you create. We need a guarantee for everybody, all life, not even humans. I mean, if that dog wants to trade something or work somehow or bark out a tune or something, and it's smart and it knows how to do it to make money, it has the right to money too. All life has this right. And not just money, currency. So we need currency to convert. We need money, wealth, to convert to currency. Absolutely. Every time, equally, quickly. And my current thoughts on the system of how is to have the governments trade treasury bonds for wealth, and then if they still have to take a hit to people about trying to devalue their wealth because now we have this real nice scientific absolute system, well, that's the cash out period. And those treasury bonds have to be guaranteed to cash out at any time. But if you don't know what a treasury bond is, it's like you'll buy the 20-year for the big gain in the 20 years, or like I stayed up with inflation for 20 years, and then it's like you're going to cash it in 2 hours, and you got to take a hit. Anyway, it's like it's another fail-safe. I mean, there's this fail-safe. It's like a fail-safe where people can always create wealth. And you can just like have a 5-minute talk with a person who's totally out of money so they know how to create the wealth they need to survive because they have the right to convert it to currency absolutely, equally, and quickly. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm really, really, really mad about how much my wealth creation has been raped, and how horribly raped this piece of work has been, because now my phone is making noise through my amplifier, which it never did until the police took it from me with this horrible thing that happened they shouldn't have done when they recognized me as their leader, as their highest rank. And then a hospital had a hold of it. And I don't know who to blame. Like, I can't really blame anybody. I'm just saying, the police took it from me and the hospital took it from me. But I don't know who did it. I don't know if, like some cartel bad bear got a hold of it or something. I don't know. But now it's all jacked up, and they did it on purpose, and it's totally obvious they did it. And I have no way of getting my compensation for it. It's like, there's no way I'll get those people to just get me a new phone of the exact same type. And there's no way a judge will rule in my favor when it's like I'll never get that crime brought out right, because they'll just try to take me to jail instead on what the hell ever they can. And there's just no way I'll be able to go to civil court and get my money. It's just no way. So we need all these systems changed, like I'm talking about, to be fail-safe systems. Like it's the next part of this prevention-only policing I'm talking about, I didn't mention, where all these funds that'll be no longer being spent on jails and weapons and that sort of training and cars and stuff, can be used to pay compensation and recompense, where in a lot of cases there's a discretion where the person who's about to raise a charge can just get paid back and not raise the charge. Well, in those cases, The government can just use all that money they're saving on not crushing slaves to the worst thing they can possibly be in society because they're their prisoners they're punishing. And they just totally cost and cost and cost. The government has no way of making money with these slaves these days. All they're good for is punishment and torture to them, and they can use all that money they're wasting to pay compensation to people as well to prevent stuff like a crime. It would prevent it from actually being a crime in a lot of this crime theory. All right, thanks for watching.